Good morning, everyone. Thought I'd make a video. I was going to interview my friend who lives in China, but she and I prospected this. In fact, I might be even putting my own job in danger by even making this video. I don't think so because it's not really in my contract, and so I probably could sue over this, but I don't know. But anyways, she's not going to come on and talk about the Wuhan coronavirus because it can get her arrested because the Chinese government keeps everything very censored and controlled. I think it's really hard for most Westerners to understand that, which I find funny that with the teachers I work for, with the company I work for in their teacher group, many of them are praising Chinese government all the time because they're far leftists and they're insane, like a lot of teachers are. And so my firsthand knowledge of this is yes, people will get arrested or they're not allowed to talk about it. And so that's a big thing right there. So you know that whatever media is coming out, for the most part, it's going to be watered down or not really up to date. And so you see, I'm going to talk about my children, my students that I teach, and the issues they go through. Most of them are not allowed to go outside. Most of them have been stuck inside for over a week, if not 2 weeks. Some are allowed to go outside and maybe play basketball. They've extended their holiday. Chinese students have a longer holiday in the wintertime than like Americans, for instance. So there's that. So that got extended. And I expect it'll be extended even further because it's not getting contained, it's getting worse. And it's spreading to the eastern cities. Wuhan's more inland, it's not really near all the major metropolitan areas like Shanghai and Beijing. However, the disease has spread to those cities. And you have situations in Shanghai now of temperature checks. So you can't enter a store without getting your temperature taken first. They want to check and see if you have a fever. Okay? This is all fun and games and stuff for right now because they actually have the manpower for this. Now, where the President Xi is, no one really knows where he went. He pretty much just took off, which is interesting because that would not fly, I think, in most Western governments if the president and chief of the nation in a pandemic just took off and hid themselves on some island while the people died and waited for everything to go away. That's interesting to me. And so you got to understand their difference in hygiene in China. China is notorious for people that spit everywhere. Granted, most of the metropolitan areas is very modernized, and the people are, live very dignified lives, but then there's a lot of other areas which is very dirty. And so you have situations like that where it's dirty, germs are spread, people aren't really washing their hands. Granted, what's in their favor is Chinese people, for the most part, are very paranoid of most things because they don't trust most products, because most people don't trust Chinese products in America, let alone Chinese people don't trust Chinese products because they know better, which is funny when you see different drugs and vaccines being made in China and shipped over here. People are like, okay, just put it in my body. Okay, fine. Side notion. But with that, the kids are not allowed to go outside. Their diet is a lot more simple. They used to say, oh, I've been eating bananas, or I've been eating fruit, or I was eating rice and chicken and noodles and all that sort of stuff. Now I'm getting a lot of noodles and water. I'm getting a lot of rice and water. Did you have chicken? Oh no, and like, it's kind of insane that I even asked. Granted, I don't know for a fact if this is because chicken's not available or they're just afraid of getting the disease from it. Because obviously it's being linked to eating meat in a sense, but this is mostly bats and weird shit like that, and then rats and stuff. But chicken farms aren't exactly the cleanest place in the world, especially ones ran in China. People are running out of masks, and so they're not supposed to go outside without a mask. And there was a report about a British teacher who taught ESL, but he had a broken leg and couldn't get out of the country. And so he's stuck in Wuhan, and he's from UK. And he's hoping that another plane will take him out of there. But he's talking about everyone running out of masks. So people aren't going outside because of the mask issue. It's also reached India. I don't know if anybody's ever been to India, If you've ever traveled to any kind of countries in those areas in Asia, India is even dirtier than China, and I expect it to spread even faster over there. Granted, you can argue, depending on where it is in India, it might not spread as fast. But where am I going with all this? Am I talking about panic? No, I'm not in a panic myself. I take care of myself. You're looking at somebody who used to always get the flu, used to always be sick. I haven't got the flu in, I don't know, 15, 16 years. I don't worry about stuff like this. I'm not, I take precautionary measures for health reasons anyways. I am not a physician, but here's a disclaimer. This is what I would do if I were you. I would definitely get a hold of some beta-glucan, which is an amazing product that really supports the immune system. It's tested in many different fields using with cancer and immunology, okay? Beta-glucan, you want to get a higher quality one. I get mine from RVP, which is like a side company that produces in Minnesota, and they're also affiliated with Youngevity. Fucoidan is a brown seaweed extract, very good for your immune system, okay? Hey, if you don't want to do that kind of supplement stuff, you can do simple things just like eating garlic, oranges, up your vitamin C, things like that. Make sure you get adequate sleep. Make sure you wash your hands. Not like an OCD psycho person, but on a regular basis. Things like that. I always have freeze-dried food. Freeze-dried food is very cheap because I don't think it's going to reach America and start killing a bunch of people. It could, but all I'd have to do is just hit a couple people and you're going to have panic and crazy ass people at the store buying up everything. So if you think of Tennessee, for instance, when there was a snow coming, this is snow, people will rush the store and buy up all the water, all the eggs, and all the milk and bread. It was really weird. Okay, so if that happens over snow, what do you think is going to happen when there's a couple thousand cases of coronavirus in USA? Okay, so now would be the time to go get beans, rice, something that's non-perishable that you can easily cook. Hopefully you have some kind of propane heater that can cook food. If not, you get freeze-dried food. You can even mix it with with cold water, and it'll eventually be edible. I have freeze-dried potatoes on the way. Very, very cheap. Enough for the two of us for well over a month. It cost me $60. It's nothing. Okay, so freeze-dried potatoes. Go on eBay, go on Amazon. They're all right there. Everyone should have an adequate water filter anyways. I always have water filters. I got a Sawyer from my backpacking anyways. On me, I also have an Alexa Pure stand-up gravity water filter. There is plenty of fresh water near me here in Austin. If it came to that, I don't think it's going to come to that, but I'm just saying. I also have a well that's not really hooked up that has fresh water in the backyard, so I'm not worried about that. And you probably should get a gun, to protect what's yours. That's typically what people should do anyways. But there is that. And little side things, you can get colloidal silver. Very cheap, very affordable. Great, something to get rid of when you have illness, things like that. First aid, iodine salt usually goes off the shelf really quick. Maybe if you don't want to get a water filter, you can get a bunch of gallons of water and things like that. But like I said, it wouldn't take much for the stores to get rushed and people buying all the stuff. So right now would be a better time to do it now because it's a lot worse than what you're seeing in the media. Like I said, my students are stuck indoors all day long. I have a friend that I talked to who lives in Shanghai, but she is afraid to get arrested, so she's not going to come on the show. I have a friend who also teaches in Shanghai, but he was on vacation and now he can't go back to work and he has no idea what to do, and he was Canadian. And so I'm assuming he's going to go back to Canada or go to Mexico where his parents retired. And so who knows? So yeah, and so it won't take much for most people to freak out. And so I would get your stuff now. And that's my thoughts on that. Remember, beta-glucan, fucoidan, garlic, olive leaf extract. It's good. There's a lot of different stuff for your immune system. Elderberry, all that kind of crap. You know, now is the time to do it. You don't want to, people always make fun of homeopathy or naturopathy or things like that because then they get sick and then they try to take it and they're like, oh, why is it not working? Because it doesn't work that way. It's called about preventive medicine. It's holism. You want to be a holistic, healthy person so you can withstand these kind of things before they happen. Well, anyways, have a good morning, everyone. I think tonight I'll have my meet up with some people from the group, and I'll see you then.